Hi everyone, this is Anisha, 26 years old, living in Sydney. First of all, welcome to my YouTube channel if you've never been here before. Today's video is going to be about 3.5 years of nursing degree debriefing video. And you heard me right, I did not complete my degree in 3 years. It took me 3.5 years. And this video is not just going to be about assignment studies, uni life. This video is going to be about everything I went through before I started the degree, while I was doing my degree, and after I finished my degree, okay? So first of all, let's start with how did I end up choosing nursing degree? So I was in this multi-level marketing business platform called Amway, and I was in this business for a year. I quit this business around I think September 2022. And if you know how this kind of business platform works, they have mentors, and my mentors at that time suggested me to choose that degree, and I think that was one of the best suggestions that given me and the best decision I've taken in my life so far, because you know why. And if you're wondering why did I quit the business, I'm going to be very honest here. I felt like the mentors I had at that time, they did not want me and my ex-boyfriend together, and it took me a long time to realize this. So just giving you a few examples, when something would go wrong at my home, they would ask, so what did your boyfriend do to help your home? And we were like literally 21, 22 years old. And I used to think at that time, oh my God, he didn't do anything, you know? I would just get influenced so easily. I went through breakup, patch up series, right? So the first time I said to my mentors I broke up with him, you know what they suggested me? So I told them like, I'm going out. I just don't want to stay at home. I'm going out. So the mentor suggested me, Anisha, you wanted to buy that bag for such a long time. Buy that bag. And when you get out of that store, imagine like you are walking as a new Anisha. Imagine like you are new Anisha. And like I said, I used to be so easily influenced. I actually did that. Now, if you ask me now, if I were to go through the same phase again, same situation again, would I do it again by myself? No, I would not do that. Means that I was just heavily influenced, right? When I patched up, I told them like, you know, I'm back with my ex-partner, and they were like, oh, we're very happy for you and all. But I could not process ahead in business with them because I had just lost that trust, you know, and business is built on trust, right? I just could not trust them, so I left that business. Now, what happened after I left business was because I seeked so much validation from my mentors when I was in the business. When I got out of there, I got really insecure. I had anxiety and I had no friends around me because I had moved close to the mentors. I did not have any friends when I left that business. I felt like, you know, when you've been in a place for years, but then something you go through and you're like, I'm back to zero again. I've just landed in Australia. Now I don't know anyone. Like, I just don't know what to do. And I went through a phase of loneliness, mental health issues as well. Anxiety, I had I'm so emotionally sensitive and I was really unstable, okay? Now let's jump into my first year nursing degree. I did not have any science background. The last time I studied science was when I was in year 10, right? So I did not remember anything, first of all. And my uni begins and I'm working. You know how international student life works, right? And I used to start my assignment one day earlier before the assignment due date. And there was not a single assignment I did in my first year without crying. I would always cry because I felt so helpless. I didn't know how to do referencing. Even if I was doing referencing, I did not know if I was doing it right. I didn't know how to research. And there were like so many research you would have to do. Like you would literally have to go through 30 to 40 research papers to put up an assignment together. Like uni students, you know, right, how assignments work. So I felt so helpless. The first year was really tough. And by the end of first year, I was also jobless for like a month. Now let's jump into my second year of nursing degree. So I am the eldest daughter of the family and I take every decision with my mom. My dad grew up without his parents since he was 8 years old. He grew up by himself. He did not get to study. And my mom, now you can imagine the pattern. She did not have that emotional support from my dad ever because my dad really does not know what love is. So they would fight. They would start fighting and my brother would call me midnight, sometimes 2 a.m., 3 a.m. of Sydney, Australia time. And I would have to hear my mom cry and hear my dad get angry, and it just took so much from me, you know, and I had to be present for them emotionally, mentally, and whatnot. And it reached to a point where I just had to make this big decision for them to split up and go their own ways, like to separate from each other and live separately. I was like, this is taking so much out of me, so much out of my brother, so much out of both of my parents. So I think separation is the best thing that can happen. So throughout this separation journey, I supported my mom, I supported my dad. I became like an emotional friend to my mom who would listen to all the things that she had gone through in her life. And I also happened to become this person to give love to my dad, because he's never really known what love is. Now, I did not realize this took so much out of me while I was just trying to help them out. I was not aware that, you know, I was being drained. If you were to ask me what was your toughest day or what was your toughest moment that you remember while doing this nursing degree, it would have to be this one night. And my sister was already here and she had her own health issues, so I also had to look after her, right? And this one night, okay, my sister's health is really bad. I had to look after her. I had to console her. I sent her to sleep around 2 a.m. I have exams at 10 a.m. in the morning, and it's not an open book exam. It's like proper exam. And you know, the fees of one subject is close to like $4,000 for nursing student. So I console my sister, I go to sleep at 2 a.m. and then I think I'll sleep for 3 hours and then I'll wake up, I'll study for maybe 2-3 hours and I'll give my exams, right? So I go to sleep half an hour, I'd gone to sleep, I get a call from my home and then they fought again. And I just could not take it anymore. Like, I just burst out that night, you know. I just tell them, what have I taken of you guys that you guys are just pushing me so much? What do you guys think I am? Like, what do you think my capacity is? That's how I started crying. So I was on the phone call for 2 hours and then I tell my mom and dad, you guys just can't be like this. You guys have to separate. This is just destroying my mental health, my brother's mental health and whatnot. So I go to sleep at 6 a.m. in the morning and I have exams at 10 a.m. So then I study for 2.5 hours or something and I give exams. I am literally a God's child. I somehow passed. I had no hope that I would pass that exam, you know. I was just like, whatever, let me just give this exams. Whatever happens, happens. And I had no hope that I would pass that exams. But you know how much I got out of 100? I got 52 or 57 out of 100 after just studying after 2.5 hours. And I'm so thankful, and that always reminds me that God is always looking out for me. So in this second year journey, what other thing that happened was, like, my sister was going through her own journey and I was just trying to care for her, and my mom held me accountable for my brother, my sister. Any message she would have to convey to my sister, she would tell me. Any message she had to convey to brother, she would tell me. So, and they would also, like my mom and dad, they would also come and talk to me, and like I was the parentified kid. And if anyone knows the meaning of parentified kid, it means that you are the parent of your parents in several ways, okay? So my sister was going through her health challenges and I was just trying to help her, and we get into a fight twice. The first one did not do much damage to me, but the second one destroyed me. Second one, like, I was just pushing through life, you know, when I was doing this degree. I felt like, I'll give you the imagination explanation that I had in my head at that time, how I felt. I felt like I was being chained from everywhere and then everyone pulling me from all different sides. That is how I felt when I was doing my nursing degree throughout the journey, okay? And my sister and I get into this fight the second time. Now this fight does so much damage to me. I felt like my soul left my body. So the second fight we had, the whole day my body was cold. It just left a hollow space in me, you know? It just made so much impact in me. And I could not even cry after that fight because I was going through so much and I did not have anyone to cry to, any support for me. Then I found Lord Krishna, to be honest. I always used to worship God, but I had never felt the presence of God myself. But after this particular fight and what I felt like my soul had left its body. I felt this hollow space in me that nothing could ever fill it up. Then I found Lord Krishna. I don't know how I found Lord Krishna, but I would just listen to Lord Krishna's bhajans, and I would just be happy for my existence, that God chose me to put this in this earth, among all these beautiful creatures, among all these beautiful trees which hold so many beautiful leaves, where the birds fly in the sky, so many beautiful colors, so many beautiful flowers, and God chose me to put this in this universe with all these beautiful things. That is where I found my peace, you know. No one taught me anything about, you know, like Lord Krishna or anything. I just found him and I just surrendered. I think that's how I did. And for some reason, this strange thing, my intuition was so high while I was going through all of these things. Like, I would know things before they would happen. Someone stole my mom's gold at home. My gut told me from 3 days earlier that this was going to happen. And you know what I did? I thought it was going to happen in Sydney. So I would just carry my laptop, iPad, because those were the only expensive things I had, right? So I would carry those things with me and go to work, because I felt like something was going to happen, like someone's going to steal something. But I did not really think of back home. So my mom's gold was stolen. Other intuitive thing was I would instantly know whenever my sister would be sad. It would just click. I would just know that she's sad, she's crying in a room. I would just get that instinct, you know. Now, a lot of people have questions like, you know, like, did you forgive your parents? Did you forgive your sister for what you went through? Excuse me. And my answer is yes. I've not forgotten, but I've forgiven. What does this mean is, do I still cry about things I went through? Yes. But all these things have taught me to set boundary. All these things have taught me how to stand up for myself. All these things have taught me that I am not the one to take care of everyone. All these things have taught me that I have to raise my own standard. I have to be there for myself. I have to fill up my cup first before I want to pour into someone else's cup. I have to look out for myself, because the other person does not know what my capacity is. So what else did I do to get out of that space? I literally would listen to bhajan every single morning. I would sit and meditate for 10 to 15 minutes. And the only way I would cry out was either when I was listening to bhajan or when I was meditating. I remember second year I wanted to go home, right? And I tell my mom, I want to come home. Like, I just can't take any of this anymore. It's so tough for me. And I think it's because parents back home, they do not understand the journey of kids who are in abroad. Regardless of how developed the countries are, regardless of opportunities we have, they don't understand that we have our own journey. Because you would only know the pain once you've been through it, you know? So I tell my mom I want to come home, and she's like, yeah, come home, bring one iPhone for someone. And my heart just broke. My heart just shattered. I just could not believe my mom would say that. So I thought, no, I'm not coming home. Like, I don't think anyone loves me anymore. That multiple occasions where I would go and I would cry to my dad, say, I can't do this anymore. There's so much pressure in me. I just can't take this anymore. But then I think he was also going through his own phase. So he could not help me, which is fine. Now I'm being emotional, but I have that understanding in me that he was going through his own journey as well. My camera was really overheated, so I just had to put it down for a while and come back. So now year 1 and year 2 studies, I was happy even if I barely passed. One of the subjects I also gave like a supplementary exam or supplementary assignment. And if anyone does not know what this is like the last opportunity a uni gives you so that you don't have to repeat the subject. And I passed that thanks to God again. I could not have done this without God. And now year 3, okay? So I've broken up my relationship. Parents, they're just doing their own thing. They're living separately. So in third year, what happened was I was good with my studies, okay? Because I somehow had managed to gain that focus back. I was back to getting distinctions in my assignments. I was that focused student again. What I've learned over the years is finding my own confidence, not seeking validation anywhere, be it my relationship, be it from my parents. Now I listen to everyone, but I just do my own thing. I respect people, but if I want to do something, people can only say, but I'll decide my own thing. I don't take pressure from my parents. I don't take pressure from anyone. I only believe in pleasing God and myself. I only believe in building that relationship with God. I am close to my parents. I love them both equally. And for the longest time now, if you're wondering, Anisha, you went through so much, so many things happened. Did you not hate your people? Did you not want to leave and run away alone? Yes, I went through all of that, okay? I went through thoughts where I just wanted to go to some other city and then just settle by myself, not talk to anyone for the rest of my life. But somehow, because I used to have conversations with God, I would just end up asking my question, who are you going to run from? For how long? Maybe God sent you to break the generational pattern cycle, you know. My dad did not receive education. So he gave me education. He did not receive love, so he does not know what love is. But I can show what love is to him. Even if he does not understand, I can at least give him love. What I fear in life is my parents have very limited time in their lifespan compared to me, because I am much more younger than them. And I would not want them to think that I hate them, or they had to suffer by themselves. I just don't want that. And even if I prioritize so much myself and I isolate myself, I am the kind of person, I have to see my loved ones happy, okay? If there's a condition here, when you set boundary, if your loved ones respect, great. But if they don't respect, sometimes you just even have to walk away from them, okay? And which I've done. I've had multiple conversations with my mom, with my dad, where, they both would throw tantrum at me. And I'd be like, I'm your daughter. You can't do that with me anymore. Like, you've given me enough pressure. I can't just take all of your world, all of mom's world, all of my siblings' world in my head and not have any of me, So I've had those tough conversations as well. And the reason why I finished my degree in 3.5 years is because I did a subject less in my second year. Instead of 8 subjects, I did 7. So it just pushed and it went to 3.5 years degree. Now, as soon as my degree finished, so what happens is, when you're going through so much things and you're still pushing through life, you're going through so many things and you're just pushing through things, you've not had that chance to process everything, what you went through, and then analyze, and then be like, okay, that is what I went through. I should have done this. This is what you can learn from this. So I think I got that opportunity once I finished my degree. I went back home and I got to see my parents. And it was very emotionally very heavy for me because I had a lot of emotional confrontation with my dad. I'll tell you, okay, what happened. So I don't like fighting, to be very honest. I don't like fighting. I either just cut off people just like that, or I just ignore them, or I just don't care at all, That's how I am. I don't like fighting. I don't like discussions if it's, if it's not important to something. So me, my parents and my brother, we go to Bhojpur, which is our original home where my dad came from, and I always feel very privileged because I get to think every time that my grandfather, grandmother, whom I've never seen, I always feel their energy so much around me. Even during my toughest days, for some reason I could just feel their presence around me, and every time I would come to God, I would pray for them. I would light a diya for them. So I've always felt their presence heavily. Like, I feel that they are guiding me. I feel like they are protecting me so much. So I just felt so lucky to go there again. But because I had not spent so much time with my dad, and then I had so much to confront, I was very passive aggressive with him throughout the time I spent with him until I had to come back. So 2 days before I came here, we went to Pashupatinath temple to do puja for my brother and for me and for everyone. I go to this puja and there are 5 priests who start singing this bhajan, and I know that bhajan. I used to listen that myself as well. And for some reason they give flowers and ask me to join my hands, and my father and my brother, we were 3 people from my family who went for that puja, and they start singing song and I start crying. And it was not that I wanted to cry, okay? It was just I just sat and somehow my body just surrendered. And I started crying, I just start crying and it went for I don't know, 8 to 10 minutes or something. And I had no control on my tears. Maybe not 8 to 10 minutes. I think I'm exaggerating. Okay, wait. How long possibly the bhajan could have gone for maybe 4 to 5 minutes. So I have no control in my tears. I have no control, like my body is just surrendered, you know, and I'm crying and I don't know how to stop these tears, and I don't know how to stop anything. I don't know what my body is doing. I think my body just surrendered and I start crying. And we finish puja and we go back home. As soon as we go back home, I start confronting my dad. I start saying him like, okay, this is what I've been through. Have you ever thought about me? Have you ever thought about me? Have you ever thought about what I've been through? What do you think of me? You know, I start confronting him and I start trying to make him understand. But it didn't go the right way the first day, but the second day, like, I called him again and then we met again and it was good. But I think it was just a signal for me that I had to be in God's presence to even confront my dad. I think that crying, that surrendering my body there just gave me courage to confront my dad. And few of the best things that happened when I went to Nepal, my brother's grown up so much, okay? My brother's grown up so much. He's like this tall guy, taller than me. He used to be my baby boy who would chase me when I would want to go out somewhere, and he would always chase me saying he wants to come with me. Now he's full on grown up tall boy or man, 18, 19 years old. And I took him out, I took my mom out, and I took my mom and dad out for shopping, which was such a good feeling, you know, because they used to buy so many things for me when I was a kid. And now for me to be in that position to be like, yeah, just get whatever you want, don't care about the price, I'll take care of it. It was such a good feeling to do that. And they're definitely growing old, and of course there's a lot of difference in how I think and how they think, but still they're my parents. I love them, they love me. And now I have like a boundary where I just know what I should talk about, what I should share, what I should not share, how far should I stretch myself while I'm giving to others. So that's what it is. And spiritually, it was an amazing year for me. I went to so many temples. I went to Haleshi Mahadev, which was not even planned. Completely God, you know. God has huge role for me to be in that temple. Like, so blessed, so grateful, like so happy. And Pashupatinath, before I went home, one day I was doing meditation and I was listening to Shiv Bhajan, okay, and I was meditating and I start crying. And I start crying and internally I'm saying like, I want to go home, I want to go home, I want to go home. And then I'm like, I want to go home, Pashupatinath, you know. It was not my home where my parents lived, or, you know, back in Nepal, in Kathmandu or Bhojpur. It was like, I started crying, saying that, internally saying that I want to go home, and it was Pashupatinath. I want to come to Pashupatinath. I want to come home. I want to come home. And I started crying and I said Pashupatinath. And when I went to Pashupatinath, my feet, the moment I was there, so beautiful. I just don't have words to express how I felt, you know, because where I am today, definitely a lot of my parents' decision, a lot of my parents' hard work, how they raised me and stuff, but God's always been there. God's always been there looking out for me. God's always been there protecting me. God's always been there supporting me. And I made this video for my own self because I felt like 2025 was this year I shed emotionally so much out of me. I learned how to set boundaries. I learned how to prioritize myself. I learned how to love others, even, you know, they've hurt me. I've chosen peace so much over so many things. I've like chosen healing and forgiving over, you know, distancing and then being cold or something like that. I still want to be so full of life and so full of love and so full of peace and so full of gratitude. And I'm just like so grateful. And just because I shed so much in 2025, I felt like I should come here and I should share this, and it would just be a closure for me to shut all those chapters that were in the past, because I would think about those and sometimes I would just cry, like, for all the painful things I went through. So I thought this video is just going to be that closure for myself. that, okay, I'm shutting all these chapters, and from 2026 onwards, I'm looking forward for new life, for new challenges, for new opportunities, new growth, you know, to skill up myself, to meet new people, to focus on myself, to focus on my dreams. So that was the reason for making this video. But if you're thinking that your situation's worse, just hang in there. Like, I know it's so hard. There were days I was questioning my existence, and I was like, should I even be alive or not? You know, should I, like, all this pain for what? Like, should I just like go? But then internally somewhere I would just get answer myself, this is not what you're here for, okay, Anisha? You have a greater purpose, you have bigger dreams, you have things you want to do in your life, you want to achieve so many things. Most importantly, you want to prove yourself and show your ancestors, because I always feel their energy so much around me. I want to make them so proud, and I just want them to be utterly surprised with how far I get in life, and of course with the blessings of God. But if you want to take away anything from this video, take away one thing, that hard times, they only exist maybe for weeks, days, months, but you'll get through it, you'll get over it, and there's so much, the other side's waiting for you, okay? There's so much you're yet to explore. There's so much emotions you're yet to even feel. There's so many beautiful people you have not met who are going to love you so much. You have not met that version of yourself where you're just like, you know, crazy in love with yourself. You're obsessed with yourself, like crazily connected to higher power, connected to God. You have not visited so many places in this planet yet. So just because your current situation, you've had hard days, hard weeks, hard months, or even hard year, you know, tough year, just hang in there. You'll get through it, and you'll just see the other side of the world where everything's so beautiful, and you only learn from it. And all the challenges, all the things that you went through, where they give you that shape so that you can go and fight for other things in your life to make you so fearless, so resilient, so full of hope, light, and love. So I think that's all. Now, you guys might have one question: what was the fight that happened between me and my sister? This is very personal and I think it's best if I keep it confidential, because it has that potential that, you know, it could still have some impacts in my life. So I'm just going to pause it there. But we are moving into 2026 without taking the sorrow of 2025 and the past years. Whatever we've gone through, it's done and over, you know. Now I don't want to go back and cry about the things I've been through in the past. I want to take them as a lesson, as a challenge that I went through, as a thing that God wanted me to get through, so that I could come and meet God, you know, on the other side, where I found Lord Krishna, where I found Hanuman Bhagwan, where I felt the presence of Lakshmi Bhagwan, Saraswati Bhagwan, Narayan Bhagwan, Hanuman Bhagwan. I even have a locket of Hanuman Bhagwan. So that's about it. I think that's all for now. Thank you so much for joining in and watching my full video. If you have any suggestions or any questions or any comments, please leave them in the comment section, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Bye bye.